Hey guys, I'm Jordan Bishop, founder and president of Axis Construction. Thanks for visiting our website. We wanted to tell you a little bit about ourselves and what to expect if you're looking to have a custom home built. Tell you a bit about our process and how all that works. So at Axis Construction, we focus all of our time and attention on designing and building custom homes. We don't offer other construction services such as additions, remodels, roofing, etc. as independent services. We only do design, build custom homes. Our intention with that is to be the best at one thing, and so we can focus all of our time and energy there. Our staff and systems are built specifically with that in mind. We want to be the best we can for our clients and provide the best process and quality of home possible. Most of our homes are designed with elevated finishes, but will always be built with a focus on long-term durability. So what do we do next? We're thinking about building a house. We want to talk to Axis. Where do I go? So you can either give us a call, send us an email, Facebook message, or you can fill the form submission out on the website, and that'll give us a notification, and then I will be reaching out to you guys. We'll start with a discovery call, 10 or 15 minutes to talk about who we are, what we do, learn more about you, what you're looking to do as far as goals, timeline, budget, if we have a house in mind, do we already have property? So we'll spend a little time on the phone getting to know each other and getting to know more about the project. After that, we'll set up a consultation. And so you'll come by the office, we'll sit down and chat, we'll talk about how we do things, we'll talk about your project, we'll talk about what to expect when hiring us, we'll talk about our use of Builder-Trend, which we track all of your budget, schedule, daily communication is all in that one system. So we'll learn more about that, and we will then dig into your project. So we'll look at if you have a house plan in mind or you're looking at house plans, we'll go through that. Once we've got something narrowed down that's decently close, we'll begin to go through that and ask some high-level questions as far as design details. So we're not going to get into the weeds necessarily on specific plumbing fixtures or any of that, but we will ask, what do we expect as far as exterior finishes, brick or siding, metal or shingles, stone, basement, no basement, and then we'll get into the inside. We'll ask things about hardwood and custom cabinets, etc. And so what I'm trying to do there is start to imagine the house as you see it. Each house is specifically designed with each client, therefore each budget is different. And so we want to start to understand that project. Once we've got enough information to do that, we'll work on building you out a desk estimate. And so the desk estimate is sort of a first draft of a budget. It gives us an idea of how much that house is going to cost the way you described it. After the consultation, we'll spend a week or so building out the desk estimate, and then we'll set up a time to meet you and review that. Once we've got that done and we're able to review it, we can talk about, are we in alignment with budget? Do we have any changes? Do we need to save some money? What does that look like? And so we can begin digging into that and what options we have. Once we've got everything where we want it, or if everything is great budget-wise, you know that you're good with that general house plan, you know that the budget is good and you want to move forward with us, we would then sign a letter of intent, which is just like a pre-construction contract that says, I intend to use Axis to build my home and I'm ready to go to the next steps. At that time, you would secure your spot on our schedule as far as when we would break ground. That changes all the time. It just kind of depends on where we're at. But for the sake of this video, let's say we're 4 months out. So signing the LOI, we would put your name on the calendar for 4 months out for us to break ground. Between now and then, we would start our pre-construction design phase. The design phase would start by getting the plans finalized. If you have plans from an outside source, that's great. Or we have a draftsman that we use that will draw the plans for you. So we'll go through the back and forth of getting that done. And then once we've got the plans buttoned up, you'll dig into that design phase. So you start working with our awesome designer to dig into the details, where we would figure out specifically what windows we're using, what doors we're using. We would meet with the cabinet guys. We would go look at flooring, trim styles. We really dig into the guts of the house. So during this time, we're not necessarily trying to get all the final answers, but we are trying to get as much specific information as possible to make sure when updating our budget, we are accurate. The last thing we want and the last thing you want is to go over budget once we've started. So we spend a lot of time on the front end during that pre-construction design phase to make sure that those things are accurate. We can then send the plans off to all of our vendors and subcontractors for them to quote that plan. So from there, we've got all the information we need to build out your formal budget. So it'll have everything from building permit to final cleaning and everything in between. And those numbers will be specific to the plan and the items that you pick during the design phase. Once we've got that done, we will set up a time to meet and review the budget. So this is sort of our final review. We've got a chance to make changes if needed. We can talk about savings if needed. You know, how much would it be if we went to LVP versus sand and finish hardwood? You know, is it worth the trade on this item or that item? And so we can dig into those specific things. And then once we've got our final review done, we'll make any changes necessary, and then we'll lock your budget. So at that time, we would be ready to sign the actual construction contract, which is what the bank will need for your financing needs. It also gives us a contractual agreement. We're all on the same page and alignment as we move forward. So we'll finalize the budget, get the contract signed, and then we'll turn all of the necessary documents into your bank for them to start the funding process. So once they've got that done, your construction loan is closed, we'll be ready to put shovels in the dirt and start construction. So that budget that we finalize is the one that will follow throughout the build. And so we work off of a cost plus basis. So basically whatever the house costs us is exactly what it costs our client, penny for penny. And you get a copy of every receipt for every transaction and every penny that's spent on the house. So we're very transparent with all of our communication, budget-wise, schedule-wise, all of the things. And then we charge a contractor's fee on top of the expenses, and that's how we get paid for our services. So right before we break ground, we'll have a meeting with the whole team that's going to be associated with your job. Myself, my partner Jordan Alman, the project manager, and the designer. We'll meet and get you familiar with the Buildertrend system, so you know how to navigate that throughout the build. And that Buildertrend system is what we'll use to manage the job. So all of your documentation, permits, plat, deed, budget, plans, any of that stuff will be found inside of your job portal that you can access anytime from anywhere, desktop or phone. And so the project manager will be on site every day that the job's going on. Not to say that they'll be there all day, every day, but somebody will be there at least once a day throughout the entire process. And they'll use Buildertrend to log in and do a daily log on your job site. They'll give a little blurb about what's going on and snap some pictures, so you're constantly in the know of process and progress. So you'll have daily updates from the project manager. Your schedule will be in there, so you'll be able to see the schedule. We'll build that out before the job ever starts. Granted, there's going to be some variables with that, such as weather and different delays with materials or whatever comes up. But we'll keep that updated constantly, so you always know what's going on. You know, the painter's gonna be there next Tuesday, tile's going in next Friday, etc. And then the number one question, you know, when can I move in? You'll get that answer through that schedule as well. And this will also allow us to get the selections finalized. And so the designer will notify you when a selection needs to be finalized through Buildertrend. Your options will be presented. If there's any cost differences with those options, those will be presented. And then you'll make that selection, and that's what will give us the okay to order that material and proceed with that part of the process. So also through Buildertrend, you'll have your budget. So you'll always be in the know on every penny that's being spent on your job. You can see in real time how that money's tracking via each line item. Your job cost budget will tell you if an item was over or under budget, how did that single line item get affected, as well as the overall impact that it has on the budget. So you'll always know how you're running and how your money's trending, and if that is going to impact any future decisions. We know if we can splurge or we need to save, and so you're constantly in the know. Basically, we want you to have all the information that we have. We want to have full transparency with all of that so you can make the best decisions for your family. So along with those daily updates and Buildertrend communication, there's different milestones where the whole team will meet on your job site to do walkthroughs and quality control checks, answer any questions. The project manager and design team are available anytime you need to meet on site and have questions. But these milestones will sort of notify the whole team to meet out there, and we'll do walkthroughs and anything associated with those different milestones. And then once the build's completed, we'll have our sort of final team meeting there where we hand the house off to you. So we'll walk you through all the ins and outs of anything you need to know with the plumbing and electrical panels, etc., the fireplace, whatever kind of questions we have, we'll spend some time answering those and getting the house handed over to you. During that final handoff, you'll have a binder that's got all of the documentation for your house. So you'll have any manuals that come with the HVAC system, the appliances, roof documentation, anything that we have that pertains to your job, you'll have that. That'll also be in builder trim, but we provide you those paper copies to keep. You'll also get a little packet that says, welcome home, thanks for using us. But it's also got all of your design information. So any selections that you made throughout the build will be documented inside of this packet. You'll have paint colors, trim styles, tile colors and patterns, model numbers for the plumbing fixtures, window specs, etc. So any information that we have, again, with the design specifics of your job will be notated in this packet. That way, if you ever need to reference anything, years from now, you've got it, or 10 years from now, you end up wanting to do an addition on the house, you're not trying to guess at what mortar color it was you picked 10 years ago, we can access that information and execute accordingly. This will also help us reference anything we need during the warranty period. And so, sort of the standard Tennessee state requirement is a 1-year warranty on all aspects of the home. And so obviously we abide by that. But even after that time is up, we want to be your first phone call. It's your house, you're living in it, but it's also our house. And we want to make sure that everything is top notch for the duration of the time that you spend at that house. So 3 years from now, if you're having a problem with a water heater or something, we want to be the first phone call so we can help you through those things. We're also able then to collect any data that we need to make sure that we're making adjustments to be better in the future. So the 1-year warranty is always there no matter what. And then even after that, we want to be your first phone call. We'll help discuss and navigate whatever issues you have and make sure that they get done for you correctly. So now that all that's done, it's time to enjoy your new home. All the hard work's paid off. So just as a recap, what can you expect from Axis? You've got budget clarity, constant communication, quality control, team meetings, and always customer first. We want to make sure that you're happy. It's our job to make sure that you're happy and you have the best house possible. If you're thinking about designing and building a custom home in the Middle Tennessee area, make sure to reach out to us, give us a call, fill out that form. I'll be giving you a call. We can check it all out.